To access each and every element that I have in the array, I will be using the index. Creating a memory location, that is the second important step with respect to the array. One dimension, in the sense you should treat it as a vector. If it is two dimensions, you should treat it as a matrix. Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to the next interesting session. So in this session, I will be discussing one of the important chapter, that's arrays. Yes, if I say the word called array, you all know about this array. What are you speaking? Is that the array? No. If somebody is standing there, okay, to call him, array idhar dekho, to call that person, do we use that word? No. So guys, arrays is one of the interesting topic which I will be explaining to all of you. All right. So that's what I will be explaining in this session. What exactly arrays? Yes, I'm your faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Kaushik KS, Vidhyaashram First Grade College. Let's get into the session. What is that I have with me? So guys, I will be discussing mainly on these topics. The first one that I have is arrays. So the basic introduction with respect to the arrays. The second topic that I will be discussing is one-dimensional array, and then followed by how do I create an array, and then what exactly two-dimensional array is all about. So fine, this is what I will be discussing with all of you in this session. So let's start. What exactly is an array? Before I read out all these points, so my dear students, let me discuss some of the basic important thing. Why do I need array? So that is a major problem that all of you should think about it. What exactly array is all about? So before that, so please observe, if I write int a, what exactly is this? Sir, I have a variable called a of type int. Yes, you all know that. Suppose if I have taken the variable like this, can I write like this? Yes, sir, you can write like this. What is the meaning of it? Sir, you will be able to store one value in the location a. So guys, this is the memory location. For this memory location, you are giving a name called a, and you will be storing one value of type integer. Yes or no? Yes, you all know about it. Now, my problem is I need to store more than one value of same type, but variable name should be only one. I repeat my question. I should have only one variable name, okay? But I should be able to store more than one value. Here I have only one value, but I should be able to store more than one value. So how do I store now? How do I solve this problem now? So to solve this problem, I have the concept called arrays. I have the concept called arrays. So please observe, this is how my array exactly looks like. All right. So fine, what is that I will be doing? So please observe. So this is how I will be having my array. This is what I will call it as the name of the array. Imagine the name of the array is A. The first important thing that you need to remember is, this is what I will write. Okay, what exactly is this? This is what I will call it as a index. This is what I will call it as a index. So fine. So why do I need the index? To access each and every element that I have in the array, I will be using the index. That is the most important point that you need to remember. And the index will always start from the zero. So that is the most important point that you need to remember with respect to the array. Always my index should start from zero when it comes to the array. Yes, fine. We understood that. The next important point that you need to remember is, when it is an array, I should have only one type of elements to be stored in the array. So what is the meaning of it, sir? Say for example, I'm storing 10, okay, 20. I cannot write F here, or I cannot write 10 pointer, okay, 35. So F is a different data type and 10.35 is a different data type which I'm not supposed to store. If you are storing integer, only integer. If you're storing float, only float. If you're storing character, only character. So that is the most important point that you need to remember with respect to the array. What is the definition of the array? Array is all about, it is a continuous allocation of memory. Okay, guys, what is that? It is a continuous allocation of memory, and you will be storing only homogeneous data type. So that is what you need to understand with respect to the arrays. All right. So fine, you got the basic knowledge of arrays. So whatever the points that I have discussed here, I think I have already explained. And one more important point, please don't forget. Say I have allocated the data. What is that? I have allocated data. So please observe. So whenever you see the array, okay, what is that you need to observe is, I have allocated 10 and I have allocated 20. So that's what you need to observe here. I cannot give space here and I cannot write 30 here. So that is a major important point that you need to remember. According to my definition, it is a continuous allocation of memory. After 20, I have to allocate. So then only I will be able to use this. So fine. So that is very, very important. 30 and then 40. That's what you need to understand. I cannot leave space here and I cannot allocate the memory. That is the major thing that you need to remember with respect to arrays. Alright, so fine. Let's check out the point what I have here. Array is used to store the collection of data. Yes, we understood and we have discussed that. And it is more useful to think of an array, a collection of variables of same type. So that's what you need to understand. So whatever the value that you have in the array, so that values should be of same type. So fine. Array is a collection of similar data types. That's what they have explained in the second point. We have already discussed that. An array can be a single dimension. Okay, so this is one of the important points that we have not discussed. Array. So guys, this is what I will call it as a one-dimensional array. So this is what I will call it as a one-dimensional array. But when it comes to the types of array, I have different types of array. That is one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. So we have three different types of array. I repeat for all of you. What is the first point? One-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array, which I will be speaking about all these types of arrays in the coming slide. So hope you understood this point. And then moving forward, so one-dimensional array is also known as vector. So please understand. So what is this? This is a one-dimensional array. So I have only one dimension. So guys, this is also known as vector. What is vector then? I will be speaking about this vector in detail in the coming slide. So please wait. So I will be speaking about this. Yes, one-dimensional array is also treated as a vector. That's what you need to remember. And two-dimensional array is also treated as matrix. That's what you need to understand. So I will be understanding about the vector and the matrix. Yes. So fine, cool. You have the basic and the proper introduction with respect to the array. Moving forward to the important thing, one-dimensional array. What exactly one-dimensional array when it comes to the one-dimensional array? So please listen to me carefully. The list of item given in one variable using only one subscript. Okay, such variable is called as single subscripted variable or one-dimensional array. What exactly this definition is saying? So please understand. I have this. Okay, what is this? This is a beautiful array. This is a beautiful array. So how many subscripts? This is what I will call it as a subscripts index. The another name for the index is subscripts. If I want to write this, I can write like this. Okay, I can write like this. So 0, A of 0. So A of 0 in the sense, how many subscript I have? I have only one subscript. I have only one subscript. So this is what I will call it as a one-dimensional array. If you have only one subscript, you will call that as a one-dimensional array. That is what they are trying to explain here. So what is the syntax to create the one-dimensional array then? So please understand, I have the type. I have to write the type. Type in the sense, what sir? Type ಮಾಡೋದಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. You have to mention the data type. You have to mention the data type, followed by you have to give a space, then variable name. Then within the square brackets, you have to mention the size. So fine, I will show you the example for this. Imagine I have to mention the type. So type is int. So that's what I will consider the data type here. And then followed by name of the array. So that is A. So that's what I have written here, variable name. Followed by, I have to write the square bracket. Yes, have written. You have to write the size. Yes, you have written that. And then followed by semicolon. So this is what the syntax. This is what the syntax that you need to remember if you want to declare. So the next topic that we have is creating an array. So guys, observe here, what is that I have to do? So when I want to create, I will be coming across with the 3 points. The first one that I have is declaring the array. Okay, we have already seen that. And creating a memory location, that is the second important step with respect to the array. And the third one, putting the values in the memory location, that's a very important thing. So let's understand these steps one by one in detail. Alright, so first one is declaring one-dimensional array. So we have already seen that the previous slide what we did. So that is what we call it as a declaring an array. So you all know this is a data type and this is the name of the array and this is the size. So there is no issues with respect to declaring one-dimensional array. So how many subscript you have? You have only one. So that's why I would call it as a one-dimensional array. So moving forward to the next one. So guys, creation of the array. Yes, please observe here. What is that I have? I have the variable name. So that array name you have. So after that, so you are using the assignment operator. Darlings, what is that you are using? You are using the assignment operator. And the next followed by that, I have the keyword called new. New andre. So we are trying to allocate the memory for this variable. So with the help of the variable or the keyword called new. So please listen to me. I will repeat this one more time. I have the variable called array name. Variable andre array name antane tagobeka. Yenadru tagoli, chikappa anta tagoli, dodappa anta tagoli, yenadru tagoli. Whatever you want, you can take it. So it is up to you. But here, observe here, I am using the keyword that is new. So what exactly this new is doing here? The new keyword is allocating the memory for this variable. That's what you need to understand. So fine. Then after that, you have to specify the type of the array. You have to specify the type of the array. Type in the sense what? Data type. So fine. You will specify that and then followed by you have to specify the size of the array. So even like this, I can allocate the memory for the array. That's what you need to understand. So hope you have the example here. Hope you can see this. So what is the name of the array? Number is the name of the array. So fine. So is equal to, what is the keyword that you have? You have new. Then followed by what is this in? This is the type of this array. So what type of this? Integer type. So what is the size then? 5 is the size. So is this a one-dimensional array or two-dimensional array? Obviously one-dimensional array because I have only one subscript. That's what you need to understand. So fine, cool. You understood the creation of the array. Creation as well as declaration almost same, but you are allocating some memory with the help of new keyword there. That's it. That's the only difference. Initialization. Sir, initialization andre so we are initializing some values. We are storing some values to the array. So that's what we call it as the initialization of array. So when it comes to that, so it's very simple that you need to remember. So I will be using the assignment operator. I think you all know this. Okay, I don't have to explain this. Okay, so you all will be knowing this. Then followed by I have to use the flower brackets. Please observe, I have to use the flower brackets. Then after that, whatever the value that you wanted to store, so you can have that values with the comma separator. You can have that values with the comma separator. So at the end, so semicolon. So this will be creating the array like this. So this is your array. Okay, what is the name of the array? So number is the name of the array. All right, so fine. Then you have this. What is the first value? 35, 40, 20, 57 and 19. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the array that you are going to create like this. So this is how we initialize the value. This is how we initialize the value. So I think you got the fair idea with respect to one-dimensional array. Now, moving forward, we have the two-dimensional array. What exactly two-dimensional array is all about? So please understand two-dimensional array in the sense you have two dimensions in one array. How exactly I will be able to identify two dimensions? So in the previous slide, in the beginning slide, I have told you one dimension in the sense you should treat it as a vector. If it is two dimensions, you should treat it as a matrix. Matrix in the sense what? So you will be seeing the array like this. So this is what we call it as a matrix, right? So your array will be like this. How many dimensions you have? So you have two dimensions, X and Y. So you have two dimensions, yes or no? So we will call this as rows and this is what I will call it as columns. So this is what I will call it as a rows and this is what I will call it as a columns. So fine. So I have two dimensions. Then how do I create or how do I deal with this two-dimensional array? Let's check this. So please observe how many subscripts I had when I had one dimension. I had only one. But here observe how many subscripts I have. I have two. Eshtido? Two. No, please observe it is 2. So guys, so please understand, first I have to write the data type. Then followed by I have to write the name of the array. Then the first subscript what you are writing is the size of the row, number of rows. Okay, so first one, whatever you are writing, so that's what I will call it as a size of the rows. Size of the rows is the number of rows what you have. So that is what you have to specify. Then followed by, so you have one more subscript, so you will specify the size of the column. Column size is the number of columns. So this will tell you that this is a two-dimensional array. This is a two-dimensional array. Row in the sense, guys, this one is what I will call it as a row, and column in the sense, this is what I will call it as a column. That's what you need to understand. Say for example, let me take an example and explain you. So I have A of 2 of 3. So what is that? So A, this is a matrix. So how many rows I should have? I should have 2 rows. So fine, I will have 2 rows. Okay, so guys, I will have 2 rows. Fine. How many columns I should have? I should have 3 columns. Okay, so I should have 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. So this is what you need to understand. So fine, what is the name of this array? The name of the array is A. Suppose if I want to access this location, sir, how do you access, sir? So please listen here. So this is what I will call it as a 0, and this is what I will call it as a 1. Yes or no? Yes. So guys, so this location 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. So guys, this is what you need to understand. Suppose if I want to identify this location, if you want to access this location, how do you access? So guys, please observe. What does that have to do? 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. This is how you will be able to access. That's what you need to understand. So fine. This is how the two-dimensional array will be. Moving forward. So guys, how do I initialize two-dimensional array? It's very simple. So in the same way, whatever you have, so what is that you will be doing? So you'll be specifying the data type first. What is that you will specify? The data type. You already know this. Yes, we have discussed this. What is the next one that I have? I have the name of the array. I have the name of the array. So I have 2 subscripts. What is this 4? 4 is number of columns. What is this 3? 3 is, what is this 4? 4 is number of columns. Is it? No, it is number of rows. What is this 3? 3 is number of columns. Okay, that's what you need to understand. So guys, whenever I store this value, automatically all these values will be stored in the form of rows and columns. That's what you need to understand. This is how we initialize the two-dimensional array. So, and also the second way that we have, we can also write like this. We can also write like this. Say for example, I have a int, okay, a of 2, 3, a of 2 of 3. So this is how I have. How do I initialize this? What is the meaning of 2? 2 in the sense 2 rows, 3 in the sense 3 columns. All right, so fine. So let me show you this. First, you open the flower bracket. How many rows you have? You have 2 rows. How many rows you have? You have 2 rows. How many columns you have? 3 columns. So fine. I'll open the bracket. So how many columns you have? 3 columns. I want to store like this 10, 20, 30. So fine. This is 1 column. Okay. So I'll go to the second column. So please observe. I'll go to the second column. So I'll go to the second column, that is 20, 30, 40. Okay. So how many columns you have? You have how many columns? You have 3 columns. How many rows you have? You have 2 rows. I will close the flower bracket. This is how I initialize the two-dimensional array. Suppose if I represent it in the form of matrix, how exactly it looks? It looks exactly like this. 2 rows. Okay, 3 columns. So first row 10, 20, 30. Second row 20, 30, 40. So this is how it looks. The name of the array is A. So this is how we initialize the two-dimensional array. This is how we initialize the two-dimensional array. This is what you need to understand. So fine. Moving forward, this is a very important concept that you need to remember. I repeat, this is a very important concept that you need to remember. What is that? Variable size array. What is that? Variable size array. The problem that we have is, say for example, in the first row, I have 3 elements. In the first row, how many elements I have? 3 elements. In the second row also, it is mandatory that I should have the 3 elements. If I have one more row, even in that row also, I will have the 3 elements. That's what you need to understand in the normal array. But when it comes to the concept of variable size array, it is not mandatory that all the rows should have equal number of size or equal number of elements. So that's what you need to understand. Say for example, in the first row, I will have only 1 element. In the second row, I can have 2 elements. In the third row, I can have 3 elements. Or in the fourth row, I can have only 1 element. This is what I will call it as a variable size array. This is what I will call it as a variable size array. So that's what you need to understand. So that's what we have declared here. So please observe. So guys, x of 0. What is the meaning of x of 0? In the x of 0, in the sense, the first location, so you will have 2. So x of 1, so you'll have 4. So in the x of 2, so in the x of 2, that is in the third row, so you'll have 3. So that's what you need to understand. This is what you need to remember with respect to the variable size array. Sir, can you explain how exactly this is working? Yes, listen to me carefully. Let me implement this and show you. So guys, I have x of 0. Okay, what is that I have? I have x of 0. When it comes to the x of 0, so please understand the first location. The first location, I have 2. What is the size? I have 2. So fine. So I have 2. So when it comes to the next location, so how many array elements I will have? So I will have 4. So please understand, I will have 4. So 2, 3, 4. But when it comes to the third one, that is x of 2, how many elements I will have? I will have 3. So that's what you need to understand. So this is what I will call it as a variable size array. So need not to have the same size in all the rows. That's what we call it as a variable size array. So by saying this, let me wind up the session for all of you. So watch out for the next session. So guys, I will have a lot of important things there also. By saying this, take care. Bye-bye.